Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the presentation for Nichols Lawson Middle School, the Climate Survey. My name is Paula Bruno,
I'm Jennifer Donahue.
and we will be discussing the results of our climate survey. What I did was I had a random group of teachers, around 20 teachers, to fill out a climate survey of things that they felt of the climate of the school. The questions range from, was it a safe place to work? How did the students feel about them? How did the students feel about their work? And so the teachers had to range their questions from agree, strongly agree, not so sure, disagree, or strongly disagree. So those were the components for each question. So we ask ourselves, what is school climate? When you think about school climate, you think about the school atmosphere. What is it like? Because when you think about climate, you think about the things that are outside. Is it cold? Is it hot? Is it in between? Well, I want you to relate that to the school climate. And when you think about the school atmosphere here, do we have a cold climate, meaning that, everybody's shut down, there's not really much going on? Or do we have a warm climate where the fields are pretty mutual, or is it hot, where everybody's really working together? Then when you think about this is school climate, school as a whole, and then when you get to the learning environment, that goes within your classroom. And so all of those things put together, you find out that that would be the school climate. The quality and the characteristics of a school is basically what the school climate is really embracing. On this slide, you will see about 5 questions that teachers had to answer. They range from professional development, how the students partake on them. And so right here, you will see these were the amount of teachers, and there were 20 teachers altogether. These were the amount of teachers that agreed or strongly agreed or was unsure based upon the information from the survey. So in just a moment, in a couple slides, you're going to see about the professional development, some things, even though we see right here that a lot of the teachers agree with this, you're going to see some things, the reasons why they agree with the professional development, the reasons they believe that the school is a safe place, the reason that they feel like they get opportunities to learn, because we do a lot of things here. We're currently working on some things here to embrace those aspects of the school climate.
Okay, well, first I want to talk to you about, with professional development opportunities, we know that we have the 9 indicators for the cohort. That's educator effectiveness, that's real world, rigor, the questioning and discourse, those kind of things that we've been doing during our faculty meeting. The next thing is events. Of course, we've already gone to Mobile for our first kickoff training, and we'll have another training October 10th, and that's bringing in the technology, but it's authentic learning, it's community learning, along with that power by technology. Our other thing is digital design. That's driven by our system, but we have teachers that are on this cohort that are helping drive that, because we're going to one-to-one next year. So we're working on our internet, trying to get that right, and cases, and are the computers going home, and what will our guidelines be, and things like that. Then our next thing that some of you may not be familiar with this, it's Literacy Design Collaborative. But what this is, we have 2 teachers this year, and it's history teachers. And they actually are going through their own initiative and cohort. One is in their 2nd year, and another one is going to be their actual 1st year. And what they're doing is they're designing lessons in a way where they have more writing involved in it, so they will have more writing in that history class. So that's another initiative some of us may not be aware of.
And these all embrace the questions that were asked about professional development, opportunities to grow and learn. These are some ways that we're helping that here.
Okay, the next one's the result from the teacher-students mindset. But it says teachers care about students, 100%. We agree. Unmotivated learners, 100% disagree. That's a thumbs up. That's wonderful. That's what we want in our schools in Silicon City. Okay, but now let's talk about this. Supportive climate We have a little bit more different opinions there. Student difficulty and teacher enthusiasm. We don't have any disagrees, which is a positive. We have a few unsure, but mainly it's stronger in that agree area.
And when you think about the teacher enthusiasm, it's talking about, teachers who are motivated to come to work, like you can't wait to get here the next day so that you can see your students. This is the teacher enthusiasm. So for the most part, we have a lot of teachers that, you know, this is what they love, you know, regardless to how difficult the days may seem, you know, they still enjoy coming to work. So that was you see a lot of them agree, almost all of them agree that they really enjoy what they do. Some of them kind of unsure, but that's acceptable.
Okay. All right, here is our next thing. This one is fixed and growth mindset. And when we talk about fixed and growth mindset, we're talking about teachers and students. So we're talking about that data from the survey from the slide before. So let's take a look first on our first link right here. Fixed. Pretty neat video, isn't it? It really makes you think, and we're gonna talk about this a little bit more later in our immense training as well. But when you take a look at that, it really just kind of, well, you think about the students, and then you think about yourself some as well. So now let's look at this next piece right here. And just kind of looking at the flow here, we've got the challenges. How do you go with challenges? Obstacles, effort, criticism, and success of others. I want you to just think about it for just a second. And think in your head, you know, where would I be? Where would I fall in this area? Or you might be right in the middle. So what you're supposed to be, you would either be like fixed mindset or growth mindset. And you don't have to decide today or anything, because later we'll take a little quiz on it as well. That's pretty neat. Think about your students in your room. You know, where are they? You have some that are here. And then you have some that are over here. But can we help them in that area? I love this one because it has the complete circles here, but then look at the half circle. So it's just something to think about, and we'll be coming back to it later at a different time. Okay?
Next, that is relating to the climate of the school, it talks about the students, and so, we know that that was something that we needed to work on, especially creating positivity with the students, so we developed this year the Champions Program, and in each one of the letters in Champions, they stand for a virtue, so C represents courage, H, honor, A, attitude, M, mental toughness, P, purity, I, integrity, O, ownership, N, is navigation, like where they're going in instant service. So with all those things embedded, that means that will encompass a positive student because they have some type of goal, they have some type of direction. So with that being said, based upon the survey, we knew that we were going in the right direction and trying to embrace the students, make sure that they felt safe with us, make sure that they, were, had an enjoyable time to come to school. So with that, we are building positive relationships with the students, and we're also creating an environment that's positive. Then, as a school as a whole, we talked about the teachers, as far as like what they felt like within the school. We talked about the students. And now, how does that relate to us, the outside climate, as far as like the community? So, our focus is college, career, community. And so we've had most of our results come from, the Champions Advisory. But as you can see here, all of these things that we're doing here, we're embracing the whole climate as a whole, from the classroom teacher to the school to the community. And so as you see, all of these components that we're involved in, they all embrace one large climate. Do you have any questions? Oh, we have one more.
Yeah, we have one more. Then, of course, that last piece with parent involvement, these are things that we've already done or we're headed in that direction to do already. But we're about to have our visitation day this month. And then for parent-student orientation, we had that in August. And then Avid Night, we're coming up on our second one in November, our second night for that. We're gonna have data mining lunch where we talk to the parents a little bit more about data and how to understand the STI assessments and STAR assessments. We've had our successful Grandparents' Day. I'm so proud that we had so many show up for that. And then, of course, coming up in November, we'll have our Veterans Day program. So they are middle school students, but they do love their families, and their parents do love to come and get involved. And when they come, we want to share with them as much as we can.
So as you can see here, we are, even though we had a lot of strongly agree, we didn't have a whole lot of disagree and things like that. So we are working towards embracing a positive school climate. And so I want to thank you all for participating and being a part of this positive staff.
Do y'all have any questions or any comments?
Do you think